feeling lost and I know where else to go now. I don't really have a place to call my home now. Everybody hating on, I feel so cold now. Why do everybody make me feel alone? Like I'm feeling lost and I know where else to go now. I don't really have a place to call my home.
So that Igor is going to probably play lullaby to the speaker system, Ray said to himself. Procrast studio. Ray kicked down the door and walked inside only to find no one in the room. There's no one here, Ray said in shock. Maybe I was wrong, but him procrastinating through the system PA, Ray said, not noticing hanging on the ceiling over his head. Railu chuckled, attacking him with his black strings. With Gray swiftly evading the attack, Gray landed on the ground, facing his attacker. That was pretty much a good guess, pal, but our plan is not that obvious, as you might think, Ryu said, smirking evilly. So tell me, what is the plan? Or you won't get hurt, Gray demanded, smirking back. The civilians of the town looked up to see Erza approaching the balcony of the train station. They all looked very concerned. If you value your life, then you will leave this place at once. This station has been taken over by evil wizards. They are planning to broadcast a deadly spell over the loudspeaker that will kill everyone. Here, I beg you to run fast as you can, Erza announced. All of them immediately upon hearing such a terrible news, they fled the station, all of them fearing for their life. Lady, why would you make everyone panic like that? One angry employee asked. I would rather that they watch all of these people die. In fact, you gentlemen need to evacuate as well. Now that I have cleared the trade station, I wonder what Igor's next move will be. Urza wondered, turning back to look at the station before gasping in shock. Urza wide-eyed, seeing a giant whirlwind or whatever encircling the entire train station. It must be some kind of wind barrier, Urza shouted in shock. At the same time, Igor Reaper floating but just behind her and chuckled evilly. Ryu swung his black strips at Gray again, who again evaded the attack effortlessly. There is no escape from my attack, Ryu said. Gray got up, holding his palm out and placed it under his hand in a fist up on top of the palm, preparing to unleash his magic circle. Ice aura. Around with a magic circle. Ice makes shield. Gray chanted. Immediately, Ice Shield was summoned, protecting from the ground. This punk uses ice magic, Ryo said in disbelief. Ice magic knocked Gray shout. This time, a bunch of Ice Fist was summoned, punching Ryo and sending him through the wall as Ryo screamed in pain. Gray stood over him at the wall. He knocked. This is your last chance to tell me what is your plan. You're not going to broadcast the lullaby song over the PA system? Gray asked. Ray chuckled at Igor barrier. You should activate by now, he said. Igor, what? Gray demanded. He's creating a wind barrier that will keep this interesting from escaping. Rio answered. I have always wanted to opportunity to fight the queen of fairy tales and the fairy tale ninja, but unfortunately I don't have the time to play with you right now, Igor said, holding his palm up and sending Urza behind her the wind barrier. Igor, Urza shouted, running over, attempting to get out the barrier, but only to get repelled. It's useless. There is no way you'll be able to break through my magic seal. barrier. You see it one way. You try to escape, the wind will tear you apart, Igor explained. What means of this? Erza said angrily. You have wasted enough time in fairy tale flies. Now, if you excuse me, Igor said, flying away. Come back here. Cursed you, Igor. I will find you a way to stop you. So he wasn't targeting the station at all. Just what is he planning? Erza wondered, clenching her arms in pain. Gray slammed Rio into the wall angrily. Why don't I get straight to the point? Here, buddy, tell me what the plan is or else, Gray demanded. We knew the pests would cause problems, so they're luring you here and trap you. The only reason we took over the station is to block traffic to the final stop. We didn't want any trains to get into Culver Station, Ray began. Yeah, why? Gray asked. Cutting, that's where it's going down. Culver's just beyond the giant canyon, and this train line is going way in and out of town unless you're able to fly like Igor, Ray answered. So the lullaby in Culver, Gray said. You know what else is there right now? Think hard and you'll get it, Ryle said slowly, waving his strings. Gray noticed, but too late. His strings struck him and sending him flying. Gotcha, Ryle said, covering his wear in confidence. It's so being held. So, this is where the plan is. Along with their targets, the guildmasters, Gray finally realized. Rayo chuckled. You finally figured it out, huh? Well, it's too late to stop us, he shouted, striking Gray with his strings again, sending him flying while Gray held his hand to block the attack. The Elsenwald thugs must be planning to brave taking such a powerful group of wizards, said Gray. Those ignorant old folks won't even know what hit them. Once lullaby song starts playing, there is no way Igor's plan will fail, Ryo said confidently. His strings finally captured Gray. He struggles as Ryo strings wrapped around Gray's body. You and your little friends are stuck in the station, and there is nothing you can do about it. Soon we'll have our revenge of everyone. You keep us down. When we're down, they'll be completely wiped out. Ryu assured. Gray grinned his teeth, tried to struggle his way out, but to no avail until to start activating his magic, slowly freezing up the strings and capturing him. Gray shouted his arms out to free his black strings. Not again. It's not gonna happen, Gray said. His ice magic, it's way real. Add freeze his legs. Now get to the straight. When you mess with the guildmasters, then you mess with all of us. They may all be old folks, but there are close nothing have we have them as a parents, Gray said in fury, grabbing Rio's face. Just come out and fight already, Natsu demanded, still running through the hall, not knowing that Kage himself is right behind him, following him in shadows. Kage chuckled evilly, looking like it's time for me to strike, he said. Will you stop? You promised, Erza. Now, where that fat one ran off to, Lucy wondered as she, Naruto, and Happy ran through the halls looking for the enemy. You better find him or else Erza is going to strangle you, Happy warned. Lucy cried in fear, but something was bothering Naruto for quite a while now. Ever since the team of Anselmo met, Naruto scoffed. Lucy noticed and looked over to her and followed the blonde with concern. Naruto-kun, what's wrong? She asked. Naruto snapped back into reality and looked at his fellow blonde. Oh, it's nothing, Naruto said, and stopped in and halt. Lucy and Happy also stopped looking behind them to look at their Whiskers friend. They walked back to Naruto and stood beside him as stood thinking hard. Remember, Naruto, always look underneath and the underneath. Kakashi words ran inside Naruto's head. Look underneath, the underneath. Naruto bumbled his old sensei word. What? Naruto-kun? Lucy said, in confused. What do you mean look underneath and underneath? Whiskers Happy asked. My own sensei in Element Nation, he had this saying, always look underneath. The underneath, and ever since we met, Igor, it's been bothering me for a while, and my sense tells me Igor may not be targeting the station. After all, Naruto deducted. Why would he think that, Naruto-kun? Lucy asked. Yeah, Whiskers Happy asked. Naruto shook his head. Maybe I'm reading it in the wrong. He thought. Never mind, I'm probably wrong. Just keep searching. He's running off. Naruto said, running off? But Lucy and Happy looked at each other, then at their Whisker friends worriedly, thinking about what he had just said, looking underneath. What did that mean? Maybe Whiskers is right, Happy said. We'll just keep searching and find out. Coming, Happy, let's catch up to him, Lucy said. Aye, Happy replied, both of them running to catch up Naruto as he continued to search for their friends. When they get to hands to them, I show them Fairy Tail can be much terrifying than any dark guild, Gray said, walking towards the Ryu. Not while Natsu continued running, determined to find his opponent when only his opponent has been behind him all along. Just forget it, lady. There's no one doing Igor's barrier. You are just stuck, barrier said. Weakly, Erza looked at him and sighed. Erza, Gray shouted from the blue. Erza looked up into the balcony. What are you doing here? I thought you were with Natsu, Erza said. We decided to split up. Never mind that now. Listen, I just found out what real target is covering. The next town, Igor is heading towards the conference as we speak. He's planning to use the lullaby to kill all the guildmasters. Gray noted. Ursa immediately shot glares at horrifying death glares at the captive, scaring the life out of him. Why? Didn't you tell me? She demanded, as she captive trembling in fear. There's a problem. The station is surrounded with wind barrier, Urza said more calmly this time. Yeah, I know. I saw it earlier. If you try to break it, though, that thing will tear you apart, Gray said. I've already tried that, Urza said, clenching her fist in pain. You finally noticed and got worried. Whoa, is your arm okay? Gray asked in concern. That's not important. What is him getting out of here? We must stop Igor before he reached the Guildmasters' conference. Wait a minute. I remember them talking about someone named Kage back in the pub. We have to find the man, Grace said. He was the one who broke the lullaby.